Our final chapter of the Dettmer text is taking a look into the future, basically, about what collaboration and consultation is going to have to look like for us down the road. We know for certain that we'll be doing more, not less, collaboration in order to meet future students' needs in the classrooms, especially with the inclusionary model. We are striving to teach students to think critically. That means we need to deal a lot with what we're doing in order to measure student growth. The standardized tests we're using seem contrary, in my opinion, to that idea. But to have our students become literate in multiple content areas is the future goal, obviously. Our students are so technologically advanced as we work with the younger students coming through that there's no way that we don't have to expand our own skills, obviously, and have a really enhanced repertoire of instructional skills and also advisory skills in working with our children, our adolescents, and our colleagues. So as the student population changes, that means that the demands upon educators change in order to try to meet those needs of this incredibly diverse population that seems to continue to become more so. One of the key pieces around the collaborative effort is to advocate for our students with special needs. That's required of us as special educators or people working, any educator working with a student with special needs. And it definitely requires us to engage in collaborative kinds of interactions. Unfortunately, as teachers, we have to become a little bit political in that we need to know who our officials are. Our political officials hold the purse strings to everything that we're able to do. We also need to be able to communicate our students' needs to the people who can make a difference outside of our classrooms, building bridges for the students, educating other people about what we're doing as educators and what we're dealing with as educators. And then teaching our students to become self-advocates is critical as well. The levels of collaboration, I think this is a nice wrap-up of things. You know, we often collaborate around a single student, and we've talked about that a great deal, and your group project was around a single student, a level 1 sort of collaboration. At level 2, we're collaborating to make a broader difference, to work on programs, curriculum, ideas that will affect more than a single student and can be applied in future cases that might be similar but yet unique. And then finally, making collaborative change institutionally or in professional development in a more broad sense. So it's a very logical kind of levels that they're talking about in the text. And I refer you to pages 340 and 341 for examples of the levels, and there's also a nice graphic there. And I also refer you to the following pages from 433 on that talks about the competencies needed to be an effective collaborator. So in general, there are competencies initially, and then talking about the competencies for team members on the group of collaborators or consultants. And there's some specific lists that are excellent for either pre-service or new teachers, things to work on knowing that this is a skill that's going to be very important to your future in the profession.